Welcome to the Sleepy Hub, a quiet corner of YouTube where gentle stories help you unwind. Whether you're here to rest, to drift off, or just to slow the pace of your day, you're in the right place. Tonight, we'll take a gentle journey across time and imagination to a quiet night under the stars in ancient Egypt. The world around you slows, and with each breath, you're transported to another place, a time of peace, of wisdom, and of celestial wonder. Let us walk now through the sacred city of Heliopolis, the city of the sun, where, beneath the cooling desert sky, the ancient astronomer-priests prepare for a night of quiet observation and gentle communion with the stars above. The air is warm, but the heat of the day has begun to fade. Soft, golden light lingers on the horizon, its last glow brushing the tops of pale sandstone buildings with a soft, honeyed hue. This is Yunu, called Heliopolis by the Greeks, a city sacred to the sun god Ra. It is one of the oldest cities in all of Egypt, and for centuries, it has stood as a center of knowledge, of temple ritual, and of the rhythms of the sky. You move slowly through its outer streets, where wide avenues are lined with date palms and sycamore trees, and the last few voices of merchants and travelers fade into the hush of evening. Even now, the city moves gently, as though it knows to be quiet. For the stars are soon to rise, and the sacred night begins. In the distance, you see the towering obelisks of the great temple of Ra. They stand tall and still, carved with prayers and offerings, catching the last amber rays of the setting sun. A farewell from the day to the night. You pass through a narrow stone archway, where guards in white linen robes nod silently as you enter the sacred precincts of the temple. Here, the air grows cooler and calmer, thick with the fragrance of blue lotus and burning myrrh. The hum of the city disappears entirely, and in its place, there is only the soft cooing of doves and the gentle rustle of reeds by a sacred pool. This is where our night truly begins. The Temple of Ra is built around a broad courtyard, its polished sandstone floors warm from the day's sun, now slowly cooling beneath your feet. The walls rise high on all sides, each one etched with reliefs that shimmer faintly in the lamplight. Stories of creation, of celestial order, of Ra's eternal journey across the sky. At the far end of the courtyard lies a long, reflecting pool, its surface still and dark, mirroring the fading light of the heavens. White lilies float gently on its surface, their petals folding inward with the coming of dusk. Temple attendants move slowly, almost silently. They carry out their evening duties with reverence, tending to the flames, arranging fresh offerings of dates and honey, and sweeping soft sand from the polished floors. Beyond the pool lies a grove of sacred trees, tamarisks, pomegranates, and sycamores, planted in neat rows, shaded and cared for over generations. The garden is quiet now. Only the faint chirping of crickets rises from the brush, and the sound of a gentle breeze rustling the reeds at the water's edge. In one corner of the courtyard, beneath a small portico, a group of priests kneel in prayer. Their linen robes glow pale in the torchlight, their voices low and rhythmic, barely louder than a whisper. This is not a place of spectacle, but of stillness, of ceremony, and deep celestial patience. As the sun slips below the horizon, a great hush falls over the temple, and it is in that quiet that the watchers begin to gather. The astronomer-priests of Heliopolis are known simply as the Watchers of the Sky. Each evening, they ascend the steps of the temple's inner sanctum, rising up, stone by stone, to the open platform atop the temple roof. You follow them now, each step slow and deliberate, worn smooth by centuries of careful feet. A gentle wind brushes against your face as you climb, carrying the scent of flowering herbs and incense. Somewhere behind you, the first call of a nightjar echoes in the distance. At the top, the city falls away. Only the open sky remains. Vast and darkening, a canvas waiting to be written on by stars. Here, on the rooftop observatory, the watchers take their places. Elder priests with long gray plaits sit cross-legged in quiet thought. Apprentices, younger but just as focused, unroll narrow scrolls of papyrus. Bronze tools and polished sighting rods rest gently on low stone tables. No one speaks louder than a murmur. Their voices drift on the breeze like wind over reeds. They begin by aligning their instruments, simple but precise devices that have been used for centuries. Plumb lines for verticals, gnomons for shadows, and sighting tubes carved from wood and bone. They consult star maps inked in fine black strokes. Not maps like the ones we know today, but elegant diagrams showing sacred groupings, the constellations of the ancient night. Each star has meaning, each pattern a memory. Overhead, the darkness deepens. The first stars appear, faint, like distant fires. The watchers greet them in silence, marking their positions and noting their rhythms. Tonight, they seek not just the stars, but harmony. For to the Egyptians, the heavens were not simply a backdrop, but a mirror of divine order, of Ma'at, the balance of all things. And so, the watchers prepare, not just to observe, but to listen, to honor the music of the cosmos, one star at a time. As the sky deepens to a soft indigo, the watchers begin to read the heavens, not with urgency or calculation, but with reverence, as one might read sacred poetry. The stars above them are not merely points of light, they are symbols, voices from the divine, the old language of creation written across the firmament. The priests of Heliopolis believe the gods move among the stars, their stories etched into constellations that glide slowly overhead. One priest gestures to a familiar pattern near the northern sky, 7 bright stars curving like a ladle. To us, it might resemble the Big Dipper, but to the ancient Egyptians, it is part of the constellation known as Meskhetiyu, the foreleg of an ox, sacred to the god Set. Its slow rotation around the North Star was seen as a cosmic tether anchoring the heavens. Another cluster of stars represents Sa, the personification of Orion, whose glittering belt marches steadily across the southern sky. Sa is linked to Osiris, god of the underworld and renewal. To trace his path is to trace the promise of rebirth. The priests speak in hushed tones, softly naming each celestial body, Sopdet, Sa, Jehuti, offering quiet invocations as they go. They remember the stories passed from teacher to student, from one generation of watchers to the next. Every pattern has a purpose. Every glimmer holds meaning. And though the constellations shift with the seasons, their truths remain, constant, ancient, and gently spoken by the night. The rising of Sopdet. There is a moment of stillness now, as the watchers turn their gaze eastward, eyes scanning the horizon where darkness meets the unseen river. The Nile lies quiet in the distance, its waters winding through the land like a dark thread beneath the stars. But it is not the river they watch for. It is something above it. A star, a single point of light that heralds more than just a new day. Her name is Sopdet, known to us as Sirius. She is the brightest star in the night sky, and to the Egyptians, she is sacred. Sopdet is the celestial form of the goddess who brings renewal and fertility, whose annual rising just before dawn signals the coming of the flood, the inundation. The priests wait with patience, knowing the moment draws near. Long ago, before calendars and clocks, it was her appearance that guided the rhythms of planting, harvest, and life itself. Sopdet's heliacal rising, when she first appears at dawn after a period of absence, was a sacred event. Tonight is not the rising itself, but the anticipation of it. And even in this waiting, the watchers find purpose. They observe her slow arc through the sky, charting her progress with care, whispering quiet hymns of gratitude. In their minds, Sopdet is not only a star, but a bridge between time and eternity, a gentle beacon that ties the heavens to the earth, guiding the people through the cycles of life. As she climbs higher, her light reflected in the watchers' eyes, a soft breeze stirs the linen robes around them, and the air seems to carry the memory of distant waters, of fertile banks soon to awaken. The watchers note the time, the angle, the brilliance, writing it onto scrolls that will be kept in cool stone chambers to join the record of many centuries. Sopdet continues her climb, steady and brilliant, and the priests remain still, listening to the rhythm of the universe unfolding gently above. As the night stretches on and stars drift across the sky in their slow, eternal procession, the rooftop becomes a quiet chamber of thought and memory. The watchers take turns consulting their scrolls, carefully unrolling them on flat stone surfaces smoothed by age and ritual. These scrolls are not mere records. They are sacred archives of celestial movement, part art, part science, part prayer. In soft lamplight, lines of ink form arcs and symbols, denoting the positions of stars, the dates of their risings, the timings of eclipses, and the sacred cycles of the decans. 36 star groups that mark the passage of hours in the night. Unlike modern timekeeping, the Egyptians measured time by the heavens. The decans rose sequentially, one after another, each taking its turn as the guardian of the hour. And so, every star served as a measure, a heartbeat in the sky. The watchers study the scrolls in silence, their fingers tracing the figures with care. One elder priest adjusts a polished gnomon, an upright rod that casts a shadow during the day, and at night aligns with stars to track their ascent. Beside him, a younger acolyte gently places a carved sighting tube on a raised platform, peering through it to mark the altitude of Sa, the star form of Osiris, now drifting westward. Each motion is unhurried. Each task is part of a long ritual of observation that stretches back thousands of years. This practice, this communion with the stars, is more than astronomy. It is an act of alignment, of living in harmony with the order of the cosmos. For the Egyptians, this sacred order was called Ma'at, the principle of balance and truth that governs all things. To study the stars was to participate in that balance. To record them was to preserve it. The night deepens, the air grows cooler, and yet the rooftop remains a place of stillness, lit softly by the eternal fire of the heavens. Around the watchers, the world sleeps. But here, above the city, the work of harmony continues. quiet, precise, and deeply peaceful. The long night. Midnight passes quietly, unnoticed except by the watchers and the stars above. The city of Heliopolis sleeps below in complete stillness, the soft hush of night wrapping every courtyard, alley, and rooftop in gentle darkness. Up here, on the temple's highest platform, time unfolds slowly. The watchers remain seated or standing at their stations, wrapped in linen cloaks against the cool desert air. Their torches have burned low, casting soft pools of amber light that flicker on the pale sandstone walls. The stars now shine with full clarity, undisturbed by clouds or wind, their light pure and distant. Above, the constellations continue their quiet procession, each one slowly shifting westward as if in reverent motion across the dome of the night. The priests move less now. Their work has entered its most reflective phase. Observations have been made, scrolls gently rolled and set aside. Only one or two remain active, checking the positions of the last deacons rising before dawn. Most of the others sit in silent contemplation, gazing upward, their breath slow, their minds softened by the rhythm of the stars. This is a sacred stillness, where knowledge and spirit meet. Some of the watchers silently recite hymns to Nut, the sky goddess who stretches her body over the earth each night, swallowing the sun at dusk and birthing it anew each dawn. Her form, arching across the sky, is imagined in the gentle curve of the heavens above them. It is said that her star-filled belly holds the souls of the dead and the dreams of the living. One can almost feel it now, that quiet magic in the air, that ancient breath that connects the stars to the soul. In this long and luminous silence, time becomes something deeper than ours. It becomes memory. It becomes presence. It becomes peace. Eventually, a faint blush of color touches the eastern horizon. At first, it is barely perceptible. A subtle paling of the dark sky, a gentle thinning of the stars near the edge of the world. The watchers begin to stir, not with haste, but with quiet recognition. The last part of the night is always a soft farewell, not just to darkness, but to the clarity it offers. The stars, so bright just moments before, begin to fade, their sharp brilliance blurring into the growing light. Sopdet still holds her place high above the horizon, shimmering faintly as the sky behind her brightens to a gentle violet. The priests offer a final prayer to her, one of gratitude and respect. Around the observatory, tools are gathered, scrolls gently bundled in cloth, and instruments returned to their ceremonial places. The youngest acolytes bow their heads to the east as the first rays of Ra begin to crest the low hills in the distance. The sun, long honored as both god and giver of order, rises slowly and surely as it has for countless mornings. The obelisks in the temple courtyard below catch the golden light, glowing softly as they greet the dawn. Birds begin to call from the trees, their songs weaving gently into the morning air. The watchers descend the stone steps of the temple rooftop one by one, moving slowly and reverently, their work complete. Another night of harmony has passed, another chapter in the long story of the stars written and remembered. And though their work will continue again tomorrow evening, for now, they return to stillness, to rest, to quiet dreams beneath the shelter of the rising sun. And now, dear listener, as our journey through ancient Heliopolis ends, you may find yourself feeling calm, quiet, and held gently by the rhythms of the past. The watchers of the sky have done their work, and so have you. There's nothing more you need to do. No more stars to trace, no scrolls to write. Just rest, deep and slow. Let the hush of the temple, the whisper of starlight, and the peace of sacred time stay with you. You are safe, you are steady, and you are part of something timeless. As you drift off, may the night cradle you like the goddess Nut cradles the stars, and may your dreams rise like Sopdet in the morning sky. Bright, gentle, and full of quiet light. Good night.